And that's all I've got to do to get out, right?
Sure.
One more response, one more video, one more debunk, and I'm done.
Well, you will be done in here. You'll never be done debunking videos, though, let's be honest.
Okay, yeah, but I'd like to get back to my chair. It's comfy. Standing in a locked position because I'm a poorly animated cartoon isn't comfortable.
Alright then, let me present who you'll be debunking.
Why would you do this to me? Discount Hovind 4, of course. That's what I'm here to do. I handled homophobic biscuit, and now we're here. But it's okay. It's fine. Whatever. This can't be that bad.
What up, yo?
Oh my god. It's going to be that bad.
It's me, Josiah David, aka I2I35, and here I am back with another video. I thought I even discussed in this the fact that I'm even wearing this mask because I even represent a cause.
And you know what? It's probably as cringy as the fact that I call myself Suris the Skeptic. So what are we calling you? Discount Hovind the Anon?
And you all know my face already, so I'm gonna have to take this off since I'm not exactly anonymous.
Well, I'm glad you did that, because I can take you much more seriously now. Then again, after the last 3 videos I did on you, I'm not sure taking you seriously is the best way to go about this video, but I am going to at least grant it.
But dealing with crime? How am I supposed to deal with it? I'm just one person, aren't I? Well, the fact is, dealing with crime is much more than just a sense of telling people, don't do this, don't do that, here are the rules, you gotta follow this.
Holy shit, we're actually beginning the video with us in agreement. You're right, dealing with crime is much more than just setting out laws for people to follow. There's issues of racism, gentrification, poverty, individual needs, all kinds of stuff that I can't even get into. I'm actually really interested now. How do you plan on tackling these issues?
It's more of a philosophical, foundational review or even aspect of it.
Wait, what? That was Jordan Peterson levels of word salad.
The fact is, you know, if evolution is true, how do we tell right and wrong?
And he walked straight into evolution! Straight into it! Why? Okay, look, societal evolution does provide a very good reason as to why moralities developed the way they did. Moral societies tend to be societies where people can live longer, and when they live longer, they get to reproduce, which is the main thing evolution cares about. So evolution does a pretty decent job of explaining how morality came to be the way it is today. So let's hear your take. I'm sure this will be enlightening.
The fact is, everyone is trying to picture this utopia of peace, harmony, and unity. Well, I'm going to have to jump right ahead and say that that's not going to happen until the Prince of Peace, Jesus, comes himself first. Until he comes back, there isn't going to be any peace on the earth. There's always this dividing and always these crimes going on. And what is the fact of getting rid of all this crime?
What is the fact of getting rid of all this crime? But there's so much I want to unpack in your sentences, but they're not real sentences! For me to properly parse out and debunk and address anything you've said, the things you've said need to line up with the way we typically use the English language. Jordan Peterson may abuse words, but you just throw them in a blender. That wasn't word salad that you just did there. That was a word smoothie. A word smoothie made of nuclear fruit.
Well, I'm not apologizing when I say that it actually starts in school.
What?
When a kid goes 12 or 15 years to school, how's he going to view the world? Is he going to think of it as created or evolved?
Why does that matter?
The fact is, if life is just a coincidence and there are no rules and there is no such thing as absolutes and everything is a coincidence and everything happens by chance, then why not just act like animals? Why can't I just do whatever I want, since I am the god of my own universe?
What you're describing is social anarchy. Moral nihilism is not social anarchy. Go and ask a moral nihilist. That's what you're trying to describe, and they're going to tell you that that's not what it means. Moreover, to actually address what you've said, because this sentence was actually constructed in a way that I can parse out what it means, the fact that something was an accident doesn't mean that it can't gain structure later. I have several friends who were accidents, and they still gained structure later in their life. The way something began and the way something ended up can be two completely separate things. Case in point, Flat earthers could be born having tons of potential. Many times, flat earthers go the first 20 years of their life understanding basic scientific principles, and then it all goes out the window later. If a bunch of beings find themselves randomly on an island by accident, what's to say that they can't create a society out of it? Replace the island with Earth and replace a bunch of random beings with Homo sapiens sapien, and here we are.
And here's another point. Science doesn't tell us anything about what is right and what is wrong, what is just or unjust. It only shows us how the world works.
On this, we agree. I don't have anything to say about that.
By the way, how the world came into being is another whole different story. You're going to only have to ask someone who is always there, and you can ask for an eyewitness account.
And suddenly we stopped agreeing again. Imagine that.
AKA the Bible. The fact is, we need a moral. We need a moral standard for how we know what is right and what is wrong. If you're just saying, oh, I'm going to only abide by what society shows me, what is right and what is wrong, well, that will just only be majority opinion, can't it? An absolute moral authority would only be God the Creator himself.
You were so close. Granted, I take a moral anti-realist position. Specifically, I think that subjective morality has some good points, and I think that those who are objective moral realists have some good points. But morality is not this black and white thing. If it was, then we wouldn't have had conversations about morality over the eons. Objective morality can exist without a god, and subjective morality can exist with a god. Case in point, divine command theory is under ethical subjectivism. And the moral landscape is an objective moral viewpoint based on human flourishing. This isn't an incredibly simple subject, but you want it to be. Even throwing a god in the mix does not stop this from being an incredibly complicated subject.
Again, there's only two options. Somebody made the world, or the world made itself. There's no other choice. Well, there are a few out there on lunatic friends who will tell you, we're not really here at all, we just think we're here. Okay, you can forget about those folks. We're here, okay? Even when dealing with crime, when people are hating and killing each other, Satan hates it when people love each other and when they want to get along as friends and when they're trying to be all peace and harmony but Satan loves it when people fight each other, and whenever people kill each other, Satan always has the victory. So the fact is, dealing with crime, I think it might go to a much lower sense if you actually start from school for teaching and showing people, hey, there is a God, He made you, He loves you, He died for your sins, He wants peace in your life, He wants joy in your life, and He is the one who gave us these 10 commandments, who gave us all these direct rules to showing how to live in a utopia. The Bible has addressed the essence of all issues, and God's way is always perfect, and He has a perfect plan. The fact is, Columbine High School happened.
Wait. Play those two back? Play that back to me. By the way you're arguing this, Columbine was part of God's perfect plan. You literally just said that God killed children because His plan was orchestrated by Him. Okay, let's hear your justification for this one.
Even when all those two shooters, broke 18 gun laws while walking into that school. And they did this shooting basically because solely based upon their belief in evolution.
No, they did not believe in the Darwinian theory of evolution because they specifically thought that they were more highly evolved beings than others. You can look this stuff up. The Columbine shooters deemed themselves as godlike beings compared to their peers. They then wanted to venerate themselves as the greatest mass murderers in history and decided that Columbine High School, where they were, is where they would have this happen. A psychoanalysis done in 2004 explained this. I'll be linking that in the description for anybody who cares. Now, here's the thing though, in Darwinian evolution, there is no highly evolved being. Highly evolved is a completely non sequitur in Darwinian evolution. Beings are just evolved in Darwinian evolution. You're thinking of something more akin to Aristotle's ladder, where beings evolve and get better and better over time. For Darwinian evolution, beings evolve and either become more or less adaptive to their current environments. It has nothing to do with self-improvement. In some cases, improvement will happen to a species thanks to evolution, but my appendix, tailbone, and teeth would like to argue with you over whether or not evolution always makes somebody better.
People like to call it social Darwinism. Hey, that's a direct result you get, like sprinkling vinegar on salt.
And Heaven's Gate is a direct result of people being religiously minded. It does not mean that all religion is de facto harmful, just like some people misconstruing the actual definition of evolution doesn't lead to mass shootings. I would like to have a live interview with you at some point. I would like to pick your brain and see why you come to the conclusions that you do. I already had a flat earther on my channel before. How worse can it get?
Okay, so the fact is, they shot Isaiah because he was black and shot a couple of girls because they were Christian, and one of their t-shirts said natural selection, okay? Evolution is not only a dumb idea, it's dangerous because it removes all reality and is based on nothing but lies, and Satan is the father of lies.
So evolution just so happens to be the end product of Satan. Yep, we've officially gotten to the point where I think we can safely dismiss anything else you can say. I have no problem with somebody holding a belief in God as long as they can rightly justify it. It's all the baggage that comes with it that I'm actually concerned about. And with people like you, we can tell that there's a whole lot of baggage.
And it has perverted and distorted science and tried to face a lot of people away from God when God is the one who created science.
No, humans created science. Even in your own narrative, humans would have been the ones who created science. Science under Adam and Eve would have been impossible until they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. But you know what? If you want to take the narrative that God created everything, awesome. Now we have a God who's created evil, and you start having problems. So I'm willing to grant you that if you're willing to take the baggage it comes with.
Nearly all branches of science were started by biblical creationists. Search it up. And the fact is, science is even mentioned twice in the Bible. Both times is given a positive perspective. Nebuchadnezzar took for himself young men who were cunning in knowledge and understanding science. Paul said to Timothy, you be careful of science that is falsely so called, which some professing have erred concerning the faith. People who believe in evolution call it science, and they say because they believe in it, they can't believe in the Bible. That is absolutely silly logic to cling to.
Oh, I agree. If you think that evolution debunks the Bible in and of itself, then that's a bit strange. There are several apologetic narratives out there that can reconstruct the Bible in a way that it conforms with evolution. There are plenty of other reasons not to believe in the Bible, like the fact that the moral framework it presents is absolutely aberrant, the fact that it's historically inaccurate in several places, the fact that the Bible has canon letters from Paul that are known to be fraudulent, the entire story of Job. So trust me, there's plenty in the Bible that will give me a reason not to give it a second thought. I was a theist who accepted evolution before. As long as you're willing to dismiss the global flood and the fact that Adam and Eve were the only two humans alive, which would have led to a genetic bottleneck, take those and a few stories out, and you have a Bible that is at least somewhat congruent with reality. I think we would call that the Jefferson Bible, where Thomas Jefferson famously cut out the portions of the Bible that had nothing to do with magic and he was left with nothing more than a magazine or newsletter. But anyway, point is, people believing in evolution does not automatically make them leave the faith. So I don't agree with how you got to your conclusion, but I at least agree with your conclusion.
There's a lot of evidence against evolution, and a lot of the supposed evidences that are only given in textbooks have been proven wrong half a century ago, more than 50 years ago in fact.
Incorrect. It just so happens that half a century ago was when the creationist movement started picking up its pace and started a smear campaign against evolution. I might provide some links to that as well in the description for people who don't believe that. And any facts that science has actually found about evolution after the fact have actually been facts in favor of evolution that simply restructured what we understand about it. So no, your narrative is wrong and your logic is wrong. Your information is wrong and Kent Hovind is wrong.
It's time to update all that information in the textbooks, okay? That's how you can actually deal with crime. Try and start heading for the root. You know, what are kids taught in school these days? Are they getting educated or indoctrinated?
I don't know. What are they taught in church these days? Are they getting educated or indoctrinated? That's really odd, isn't it? How weird that statement sounds when it's turned around.
You're going to school to get an education, I thought. And the fact being school. But the fact is, yeah, a lot of people can do crimes simply because they're hurt or emotional. It's not just because they might not believe in God or they might believe in evolution, but the fact is there are a lot of hurt people out there, and people can make bad choices when they're hurt or emotional. Try and be close to those people as much as you can and give them any emotional help and try to help them in any way you can. Try to show them, hey, it's actually wrong to do those things, hey, because, hey, God loved you, He created this world, and He's the one who's put down these rules, and basically, He's the one you can answer to right now. He's the one who you can pray to, and He will actually help your life get better. If you trust in Him with all your heart. Well, I'm not the best one to address this issue, but my advice is go see Kent Hovind's channel.
Why? Why do you venerate Kent Hovind? He's been proven wrong on a dozen occasions. You know, if you add a few zeros at the end. This explains why your thinking is so poisoned. You venerate people like Kent Hovind and Ken Ham above actual scientists. Above actual PhD scientists who got their degrees from accredited colleges. Kent Hovind got his degree from Bible University, which is no more than a freaking trailer. The doctor in his name gives him about as much credibility as a doctor's outfit you wear for Halloween. Obviously, I'm going to have to take on things in your channel more, because the things that you think and the things that you say are absolutely... I don't even actually have a word for it. You know what? Discount Hovind. That's going to be your pejorative. It's not just your name, it's not just your moniker, it's also going to be the pejorative title I use on you. So with that said, everybody, with the contest we had on the last video, 80% of you voted that morality is subjective, 20% of you voted that something completely different is at work, and not a single person voted for objective morality. Obviously, I personally agree with 20% of you, but we don't all have to agree. That's what makes us individuals. With that said, the contest for next video is as follows. Have you figured out where the first step in my secret codes is? Remember to click the iCard above for your choices, and discuss your choices in the comment section below. With that said, guys, as always, insert end of video tagline here.